the rumors surrounding Kevin Durant's future in the NBA continue to gain momentum, with ESPN now reporting that league insiders widely expect Durant to be moved to a new team this offseason. This comes after the Phoenix Suns nearly pulled the trigger on a blockbuster trade for him at the 2025 trade deadline. While Durant has maintained his professionalism and commitment to finishing the season with Phoenix, it's becoming increasingly evident that he is not satisfied with the current state of the team. He is not publicly demanding a trade or causing distractions, but the writing is on the wall. The situation in Phoenix is deteriorating, and significant changes may be inevitable. The Suns' current situation: a failing experiment. The Phoenix Suns' trajectory over the past few seasons has been anything but smooth. After making bold moves to assemble one of the most expensive rosters in the NBA, their return on investment has been underwhelming. Their roster, built around superstar talent and designed to compete for championships, they are in real danger of not even making the play-in tournament, which would be an unmitigated disaster for a team that has mortgaged its future for immediate success. The front office has made aggressive moves in recent years, trading away valuable draft picks and young assets to acquire high-profile stars. However, despite their efforts, the chemistry just hasn't clicked, and injuries, inconsistency, along with a treasure trove of instability have plagued their season. To make matters worse, reports indicate that nearly every player on the roster aside from Devin Booker was available for trade at the deadline, signaling a franchise in turmoil. Even Kevin Durant, a player widely regarded as one of the best scorers in NBA history, was not immune to these trade discussions. Given this chaos, given the complex nature of the situation, Durant might be unhappy. While he has not officially requested a trade, the Suns actively explored moving him, bringing various trade possibilities to his attention, including a potential return to the Golden State Warriors. Ultimately, Durant chose to stay put, but with the team's continued struggles and his apparent frustration, it seems likely that he will reconsider his options once the season concludes. The case for trading Kevin Durant: with the Suns' championship window seemingly closed and their financial flexibility severely limited, many analysts, including those at ESPN, believe that the best path forward is to break the team apart and initiate a reset. The most logical way to do that is by trading Kevin Durant. However, moving Durant is not as simple as it might seem. While he remains an elite player, he is no longer the same asset he was when the Brooklyn Nets traded him to Phoenix in early 2023. Back then, he was under contract for multiple years, and his value was at its peak. Now, the situation has changed drastically. Durant is set to become a free agent in 2026, meaning that after this season, he has only 1 year remaining on his contract. This greatly impacts his trade value, as teams will be hesitant to give up significant assets for a player who could walk away in a year. Another major concern is Durant's age and injury history. He has dealt with numerous significant injuries throughout his career, including a ruptured Achilles tendon, a broken foot during his time with the Oklahoma City Thunder, and various minor injuries that have kept him sidelined in recent seasons. While he continues to perform at an elite level, there are legitimate concerns about how much longer he can be a foundational piece for a championship contending team. For any team considering trading for Durant, if they trade Booker to Houston, how much is he actually worth at this stage of his career? If Suns fans are expecting a trade package similar to what Brooklyn received for him, they may be setting themselves up for disappointment. This is a vastly different scenario. Durant is older, on a shorter contract, and the Suns have not had the same level of success with him as the Nets did. Additionally, Durant holds significant power over his destination. If he makes it clear that he will not sign an extension with a certain team, that would drastically suppress his trade value. This scenario played out recently with Damian Lillard, who was able to influence his trade market and essentially pick his next team. Durant could do the same, limiting Phoenix's options even further. beyond the challenges of finding a fair trade return for Durant. Lack of control over their own draft picks. Over the past few years, Phoenix has traded multiple first-round picks and pick swaps to acquire their current roster. The team that holds those picks, the Houston Rockets. If the Suns are serious about rebuilding, they need to regain control of their own draft assets, however. This presents a unique challenge. The Rockets, holding Phoenix's picks, may have little incentive to help the Suns out. If Phoenix struggles in the coming years, Houston will benefit from owning their high draft picks. The logical solution for Phoenix would be to negotiate with Houston to get those picks back. The Suns' dilemma won't be easy, navigating a complex trade market. From Houston's perspective, they hold all the leverage. If they are not interested in acquiring Durant, the Suns face another major issue there. Phoenix is in a difficult position instead. The Rockets may prefer Devin Booker, who fits their timeline better as a younger, franchise-caliber player. This puts Phoenix in a tough bind if they choose to trade Durant elsewhere for a less favorable package while keeping Booker. They risk being bad for years and handing Houston valuable draft picks. They can regain control of their future, but lose their best long-term asset. Houston's role and potential trade scenarios. Necessary assets to make a significant trade with the Suns. They have a mix of young players, draft picks, and salary-matching contracts that could facilitate a deal, however. Their decision on whether to pursue Durant or Booker will dictate how these negotiations unfold. One key factor is Fred VanVleet's $40 million team option. If Houston picks it up, he becomes a valuable salary-matching piece in a trade. Has struggled to meet expectations, they free up cap space, giving them flexibility to make other moves additionally. Young players like Jalen Green and Alperen Sengun were ineligible for trade this past season due to their contract situations will be eligible for trade in the 2025 off-season. Jalen Green remains an intriguing prospect despite his inconsistent play. Meanwhile, Sengun has taken a leap, earning an all-star selection and proving to be one of the league's most promising young big men. Whether the Rockets are willing to part with either of them depends on what their long-term vision is. One thing is certain: Houston is not trading Amen Thompson. The young guard is considered untouchable and is their top developmental priority. Other assets like Jabari Smith and potential incoming rookies such as Reed Sheppard could be available. Houston is in a position of power and will dictate much of the trade market. Conclusion: a crucial off-season for the Suns. Phoenix finds itself at a crossroads, and the decisions they make this off-season will shape the franchise's future for years to come. The team has to decide whether to trade Durant, Booker, or both and how to maximize their return. The Suns' best-case scenario would be trading Durant to Houston in exchange for regaining their own picks, keeping Booker, and retooling around him, however. If Houston prefers Booker over Durant, Phoenix might be forced to choose between trading Booker for their draft assets or keeping him, and risking years of mediocrity while their picks benefit the Rockets. With Durant's future uncertain, trade talks will heat up quickly once the season ends. His value, contract situation, injury history, and potential leverage in choosing his next team will make this one of the most fascinating off-season storylines in the NBA. Whatever happens next, one thing is clear: Phoenix's front office is facing one of the most challenging decisions in franchise history, and the outcome will have lasting consequences for years to come.